What's going on, everybody? Super late start in the day. It's 2 o'clock, super hot. I was just chilling in the room, just trying to cool down, but you know what, can't waste any time in the day, right? So gotta start wrenching. Today I'm probably going to be making the new downpipe. I really don't want to use the cutting wheel on the chop saw. It's very terrible for cutting steel, and I don't have a bandsaw, so I have no other choice. But I'm probably going to go to Harbor Freight to get a new 10-inch disc. These are all the stuff that was in this box. Flex pipe, V-bands, 3-inch stainless steel. All I had was $100. Went to go buy cat food. Somehow spent $86. Now I am left with 14 bucks. Cannot buy the cutoff disc for the chop saw. I don't know if you can see, I'm on empty gas, so I ain't got no gas in that. I ain't got no gas in the wagon. So I got my old downpipe cut, the one with the hood exit, and I need to trim this little, I don't know, maybe 15 degrees or something right here, so this pipe will point straight. Currently, mocked up everything last night, so currently I think I'm going to need a straight 45 to a 90, and then 90 under the car. Rough, I mean, give or take. I might trim this right here about another maybe finger, 1 inch, because it's too close to the firewall. The motor mount's really solid. It doesn't really rock at all, but I don't want it to touch the firewall then break it off the V-band. So I may cut that. I definitely need to cut this, mock it up again, take measurements. I'm gonna put the V-band down here, so that way the exhaust has its own downpipe section, and then a downpipe going up is going to have its own section going to the turbo. So far, this has been a pain in my ass. Now I know why everybody goes up pipes on EFs with the K-swap turboed, because there's really no room down here. So I got a 90 off the turbo, and then it goes to another 90 right here before it goes under the car. I could probably get away with putting a 45 right there and then putting it down to a 90 going under the car, but kind of trying to see if I can make the 90s work, because I can use this 45 or something else. So right now I may or may not cut right here, right, and put like a pie cut in there to turn this pipe away from the subframe, because it's currently hitting right here. For some reason I marked it, but then I welded it off a notch, which is my fault. But if I can put a pie somewhere in the straight right here and turn this bottom dump straighter, that's probably what I'm going to do. But I'm going to try to, I can't mock the 45 now because I already tack welded that one in place, and I don't have a Dremel to cut that one loose, because if I use my cutoff disc, it'll make the edge uneven. So weigh out my options real quick and see what solutions I come up with. So just got the update on my action clutch. So I purchased it through a company I wanted to give a shot, because I've heard a lot of good reviews as far as them and customer service and stuff. And I ordered it on, I think, Wednesday night or Thursday night, one of the two, but I was guaranteed that I was going to get it on Saturday, and it's now Sunday. I still haven't received it, so he just messaged me back, because I mentioned it to him last night, like, what's the deal? No tracking number, no nothing. I don't know the whereabouts of the clutch because I didn't get it. So the owner, or the guy who was supposed to ship it out from Action Clutch himself, got into a car accident and couldn't ship out the product. So I'm out of clutch. They said they was going to get here Tuesday because he's going to be back tomorrow and it's going to ship tomorrow. But my tune's on Wednesday, and like I'm cutting real close, and this is like a super major like setback, and I'm trying not to be frustrated because I have other things to do currently right now, but I hate doing last minute things because the clutch should have been in already yesterday or today, and have a day or so to drive the car, make sure it's good before I make an hour and 30-minute drive to where I tune my car. Pretty upset about it, yeah. But what can you do, right? Hope the guy's all right, and hope all turns out well. So I cut the pipe right here where I had marked it, and 3-inch problems. I can't even 3-inch problems. We can make it in there. Okay, so originally the pipe was like so. You can see right down there, it's pointed right at the return line, right? And then it was hitting the subframe. You can hear it. So now if I turn it, if I turn this right here, like the 90 bend right here towards the block, I get that pipe pointed straight, and now I have room between a half shaft and the subframe, and it's definitely not pointed at the return line right here. So with my hand holding it in place where I want it to be, I can't calculate degrees, but definitely a pie cut right there in the middle should do the trick. I'm gonna cut out a few and try to get one to fit that, tack it in place, make sure everything is all good and golden, then continue mocking the rest of the stuff, the 90 under the car, which is gonna go to the flex pipe, and then the flex pipe is gonna have a little 3-inch to it, and then that's gonna attach to a 3-bolt right here, and then the V-band right here is actually going to be somewhere in between the firewall portion of the downpipe and under the car. Probably accessible from right here. So it's a 2-piece because you can't maneuver a full downpipe in the back of our motors because there's no room. Okay, did a 9-degree pie cut to get this portion right here angled where I want it to go. So right now downpipe is bolted up. I'm on my phone right now and using the light to show you guys. You can see right down there, not touching half shaft, not touching subframe, not touching return line, not touching manifold. The dump tube, I'm definitely gonna run this out the hood because there is no room to route the dump tube. There is room, but I don't have material to make one. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this and I'm gonna turn the teardrop the other way around and shorten it down to level with the hood and put a hole through the. I'm gonna do that last because it's a simple task. As far as downpipe, everything's tacked up to right here. So what I'm gonna do now is I may do the V-band while it's just right here in case I need to trim that, you know, that straight going down a little bit before I put the 90. Cool. So downpipe is on, V-band is on right there. You can see it. It's all tacked up. That is definitely cleared as far as the subframe and the half shaft and everything else that's clustered in there. So V-band is tacked on. Everything seems to be clearing just fine. Motor mounts are pretty solid, so I'm not worried about the motor rocking back too hard. So I'm not worried about the downpipe close to the firewall. If anything, it'll just go downward rather than backward. Same goes for the V-band. It's got probably an inch from the subframe, but I'm not too worried about it. So now I'm gonna go under the car and mock up the 90 right here, see if I need to trim that straight if it hangs too low. This is the beautiful part of a V-band. I don't have to remove the upper downpipe because all you got to do is loosen up the V-band, which is over there this piece comes out. Downpipe with the flex pipe ends up hanging lower than the oil pan, and then the oil pan already hangs lower than the traction bar. So if the pan is already prone to being hit, the downpipe is definitely going to hit. So trimming it 2 inches off, go down to remock it, and then I'm going to mark it, tack it, fit it up one more time with the flex, and then I am going to, well, there's V-band on, top portion of the downpipe is on. .90 flex pipe, a little extension right here. It points towards the exhaust. The exhaust is definitely flexible. I can move it around, adjust it to wherever I need to go and match up to this. This is also move around, flexible. So now I'm gonna pull everything out and attempt to weld the whole downpipe. I'm not gonna do the dump tube, it's too late. You can hear the crickets. To use the chop saw right now, so I'll do that tomorrow or another day or whatever. But I'm gonna go ahead and pull this out now and start cleaning up, because all I gotta do is TIG, and want all these to be clean before I do it. I had issues with settings right here, super low on argon, but I did some pretty nice beads right here. It's getting late, but I'm gonna go ahead and just finish it up. So yesterday I had issues with welding, like this. It was like fusing or some shit, right? And then when I moved over to like a thicker area, like the flex pipe, for example, I'm able to lay some, really nice bead, even though it seems to be a tad bit hot than it's supposed to be, according to some people. Because I posted for some help online, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, and I did a few adjustments according to what people were telling me, and I started to dial it in a little bit more and started to weld better beads, not too hot. I'm finally starting to see those colors that I've never seen before since welding, TIG welding. So right here I dipped the tungsten, so I'm just kind of letting the pipe cool down, resharpen my tungsten, and then continue welding. That little section right there is about 1 inch, right? And then all I got to do is mock up my up tube. This is my original one, but I'm gonna end up using this one just because it's a sharper 90 than a long 90. Right out the hood, weld that, and then the hot part should be done.
Therefore, the presence of incense or incense burners in a room should be known.
So what that was, 5 looks like high school girls was driving that car, and it came around that bend right there where the homeless people are getting, you know, stuff for themselves. They came around that corner like 40 plus, they said, and He smashed through that fence, and then as soon as that car stopped, they all booked it, went across the bridge into the creek right here on my side of the house. And when I was riding the bike back, I seen 3 of them jump the fence. The other 2 couldn't make it, so they walked around. I'm just trying to check my camera to show you their attempt of escaping. So you got my dad chilling right there, and I'm down the street recording the accident, and I'm coming back on the bike. So my dad is like, what the fuck is that? Who the fuck is that? Right there. These are the 5 girls that were in that car wreck. Now they abandoned the car, went across the bridge. This back section right here is a trail to the creek. So they went all the way around, and obviously they didn't know where to go. So now they're trying to hop this fence that I locked, and attempting to escape the accident site. Because fast forward real quick, there they are trying to climb. There's the first one. I'm surprised the fat one got over. She was walking by, and I was riding the bike, and I was like, hey, you guys are the one that was in the crash over there? No, that wasn't us. Yeah. Okay. Doing shit at a stupidly young age is not gonna get you far in life. What do I know? Yep, they've hop fenced before. Or not. The fat one made it over, but the 2 skinny ones didn't. Oh shit, that's my dog. The hell he come from? So now the other 2 is walking all the way around, and the other 3 is hanging out somewhere in the block because they didn't exit the block. So yeah, I went back over there to let the people know that these young kids are right here in my neighborhood, and they have not left the neighborhood, so they're somewhere around the block. Don't mean to be a snitch, but if that's their mama's car, if that's a stolen car, justice needs to be served. So at this point, I'm like, YOLO, I'm just gonna go ahead and weld it right there. I think this is the perfect length to go right out of my hood. I've measured the end here to here is about 1.5 going up, and from here slanted down is about 1.5 up. So hopefully that actually fits without cutting any further. I didn't cut any piece off of it, I just cut it and I turned it around, and it seems to be pointing where I want it to be. So I'm gonna go ahead and weld that up, and before I do, I'm actually gonna put that top portion of the downpipe on, make sure that clears, and I know it will, I've already done it. Then I'm gonna weld it, then I'm gonna cut the hood, and that should be it for the hot parts. Some gasket maker. This hurted me the most. I didn't want to cut the hood, but found my bigger balls, so that should leave an imprint. I just closed it earlier, and it seems that the pipe is exactly lined up with the hood. So close the hood, pat it down somewhere, I don't know, right here. I can feel it for sure. So that should leave that marking right there. So not quite all the way down to the bottom of the tube, but definitely know where the sharper point of the drop, the teardrop, is at. So I'm gonna cut that out or mark it out, or it hurts just to look at that. If I could afford to buy more pipings, I would have rerouted this, but you know, you just kind of have to work with what you have. I'm fine with it. I've ran open down pipe, I've ran an up tube. My wastegate is always open anyways, but I mean, it's not too noticeable. It just looks like another bird shit. You know, I got the hood pin, but I got it all welded up right there at the bottom. Kind of dialed in the welder a little bit with the help of everybody that has responded. So dump tube 100% welded, down pipe 100% welded. I couldn't have been happier with these welds. I'd rather have it looking like this, like I don't know, maroonish looking purplish color, rather than black and fucking like the fusing. This shit right here, it looks like it's super contaminated. See the difference on this one and the difference on this one. Last night, this morning. Pretty much gonna end this video fabricating the up pipe for the wastegate, the 2-piece down pipe, because I'm too much of a pussy to drive around with the up pipe. And we're in California, guys. It's not as easy as everybody else out there other than California. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you do. Subscribe if you guys want to see some K20 turbo action from the wagon. See you guys in the next video. Peace out. That car horn is still going off. Apparently, like, the cops didn't come or some shit, but it's like 6:18 and kind of tells you our short staff PD has not responded to the crash site yet.